Why are there so many Fiddlesticks mains, one-tricks on the Korean server all the time? That's because he's one of the best, if not the best, one-trickable champion in the game from the jungle position. Yes, even more than Shaco, as our bottom lane goes 2v2 tri-bushing, and obviously that means there's no leash going on, so we can expect the Viego to have started on the red side. I'm not going to swap the camera, we'll see exactly what he does. You can see the minimap, what he's done, but, you know, to keep some element of surprise in terms of pathing. So, obviously he offers full clears, fast clears, but he's not really a fister, is he? And Korean server, they like to fight and snowball in endgames early. So how does Fiddle work into this paradigm, and why there's so many of them that get there with so many different ways to play the game? And right there's your answer. We have a Dark Harvest Leandry's gamer, we have a Luden's Hex Flash gamer, we've got most of these first strike Rockabell people, there are some Electrocute people for guaranteed early damage, kind of replacing the Predator rune set from a couple years ago. That rune is so dead. Man, that rune is dead. But Fiddlesticks loves it when it's strong, tell you that much. So, we're going to see in this game why Fiddle is so damn good in the server explicitly. But, also, I'm going to reinforce why I suggest this. If you want something that's meta-agnostic, something that you can absolutely play no matter what, this is what you play, alright? Because Shaco comes in and out. Okay, so we have no blue. We should be looking at our Grump, but we see it's not there, so we know he's over here. Jarvan's going to move in. The Viego went from Raptors to blue to Grump. We press tab right now. We see 12 CS and a blue buff, so we know that's exactly what he did, because bottom lane didn't leash. Right now, stop. Don't chase, don't chase. Once it's clear he's gone, don't chase. Don't do it, son! Because we have multiple people in the bottom lane here with a Nico and, of course, a Twitch. Their experience compromised. Go take his red, right? If you want help implementing this information into your own game, I have a free jungle improvement resource and a dedicated program where we have jungle video courses, jungle coaching VOD libraries, weekly coaching classes, Q&As, patch note rundowns, private high elo streams, as well as a private jungle Discord. And I know how to make junglers convert from low elo to gold to emerald to diamond to master plus. If you want to climb faster than anybody you know, jungle diff every game you play, head to virkayu.gg. You should be taking his red, investing that time. Now, do we have time to do the red Krug's trick here? But obviously you can't match the exact clear from red side to the blue side of the map. That's worth noting. But at least you can get the red. You can then fall back, maybe look for a gank mid lane, if it's gankable. And then you can buy time for this. Because if you look at it logically, right? Where's the Viego going to go next after this? Most likely he's going to think you're taking his red. I would assume you're taking my red. And if I was to be really coachy about it, I'd say, look, you take my red. You've got the Skull Crab. I accept this defeat. I'm at least going to take this. I'll allow you to do this, because then I can snack this, right? 355 respawn or so. Options. Now, the Fiddlesticks mistimed it, wasted a little bit of time, and just went ahead and took the Scuttle Crab, went back to base. Viego does go to the bottom side. We don't know that he's done this, which I think is the question mark here. And that there is exactly why it's always a bit weird to see Fiddlesticks in Korea, because we're so used to the Nidleys, right? And the Talons and the Graves and the Viegos and the Kindreds and all these things that have high tempo, snowball, bring late game to mid game and end by 20. And he's just not that champion. He's just an absolute vibe, but he's so strong. Always 51 to 52% win rate or higher. He just sits in such a meta-agnostic spot. He's good into almost anything. Yeah, the champions that can counter him and deal with him, but a good Fiddlesticks will figure out a way to circumvent those things. So, now in this particular case, we obviously have here a Jarvan being killed by the Viego. Viego picking himself up a kill in the vein. This means we're going to go for the top lane gank, which is a little unfortunate. I kind of wish the Nasus, the Susan, would not be in the situation. But there is another thing that makes it so good. You got a silence, it's quite long range. You got a fear, and then you can suck them with the demon spaghetti coming out of your head. Ideally, here this lane is neutral and sexy and ready for me whenever I want, and I can go take the blue and the Grump, right? And then gank afterwards. But unfortunately, that's not the case. We have a ward here, which is good. Jarvan's going to gank in the mid lane onto the Akali, like the one champion that actually help you with your sewer to kill the Akali. The Viego actually went back to base here. He's going to end up stealing this blue back, which is fantastic. I would hit this plant, because he's going to know you were just here, because you showed top lane with no blue. And now his blue's gone. So he knows exactly where you are, because it's high elo and Grandmaster and Challengers and Master players and whatever. So hit the plant, deny him any sort of vision control whatsoever, keep him questioning, right? Did Nasus ward because I was ganking and I didn't notice, all these things. But right here, this player, this game, you know why I liked it? You know what it says in the summary? You know, on the stats site, it says, of course, I'll leave the match history link below. It says things like, split pusher, it's Fiddlesticks. And aggressive jungler, that's Fiddlesticks. And that's kind of what I want to present to you, because you don't have to be this passive 0 KP by 10 minutes champion, right? You can do a lot of cool stuff, and you can basically navigate any sort of game state that might arise. So, we go back to base now. We obviously have our Sork Boots. That's the thing we like, okay? Don't get baited into the Hextech Alternator. Cassante goes all out on Nasus, takes him all the way up here. We know the Viego should be on the top side, so I would be a little bit cautious about that. Obviously, Q3 does not hit. Nasus creates the space. And while we were watching that, I just wanted to go back because the Viego's doing the Raptors here. So if you're Fiddle, you're watching this, but you're also seeing this, guaranteed you must. So the Nasus should also, in theory, see this, but he's in the middle of a fight, and he's worried about the Q3 here getting him killed, so he's going to create space anyway. Yasuo's low. So I think here we missed this information. We should be shadowing down mid lane for this, okay? And Viego's going to show up. We're going to cut in, obviously. We have deep vision here, unknown to us. Yasuo dies. Viego hits level 5. We are super close to level 5 ourselves. Can we do some bush play? Obviously, they know the Fiddle's there. And importantly, we've got the silence. Here we go. We just don't want to be W'd while we're sucking, and he can get the sort of R kill on us. So you got to play that very intelligently. But look at this. You see the autos? They're useless in concept, but they do stuff. Yeah, you see. That's why. It's for the whimsical. What's life without whimsy? That's what you want to do when you're playing this champion. That's why I think a lot of people like it. It's a really unique play style. And it just opens up the can of worms, pun accidental, not intended, for the strategic possibilities in jungle. So many of the junglers that you see played all the time in Korea and on this channel frequently, as Viego shows on the bottom side here at 111, you know, this is just such a different mentality, and I think that's also important to note. It's not off meta, but it's atypical to how people play the game, and that's where you get advantages. But as always with my jungling, you know, I make a lot of content about different ways of jungling. I like this as well. This means they know you're here, you know that they see everything, so now of course we have to be careful about the invades. You have to be used to that. At this point, Viego is just using that to kind of scare us, which is of course absolutely fine. And we're going to do the Grump. Jarvan's going to gank mid lane, get the EQ, knock up into the R, into the Akali. The Twitch is roaming mid lane. Twitch will do the most damage, do a lot of damage this game for the blue team. Really going to add some spice to the life of damage. Here we go. Fiddlesticks is 6. Here we go. There we go. Beautifully done. Right there. Step 1. Step 1. For clear, if something random happens, you can adapt easily because you farm quickly. If you have an opportunistic kill early pre-6, get it, get it, get it. Emphasize that. Kind of do it enough. Get your 6 then thereafter as fast as possible and look and know where you want to use it. Hey, I want to use the bot lane. I wanted to do that, but Twitch is here. Akali's overcommitting. If I move and use my ult, thumbs up, excellent stuff. Fall back, do my blue. And now, of course, I can avoid this vision by hugging the wall. And in theory, if you didn't need your ult there, you could shadow down. And in this case, this is where we would see a nice possibility. See that? I love the Hex Flash. I love it a lot. I love it a lot. I want to show you this because we talked about Hex Flash at the beginning. We haven't seen any activity over it yet because we used our flash. Right here, this is why it's so good. Hex Flash over the wall. You've got that double E there. You force the cleanse, obviously. Now you can just press W, condemn into full suck kill. We still have our Q available. We just need to get into the range of that, obviously. And just press sucky, 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 and hopefully we pick the right one. Which we do. Are able to hit it. Can we get a Q? We just need vision. Q. Nico annoying. This is a very annoying champion. Yasuo's got prior. Here, Jarvan will finish it off. There we go. Thank you so much. Again, don't waste time chasing. Just go straight to the dragon. We have that opportunity because this was dinged global, right? They took the herald while we were doing that, so we must get this mountain dragon. Huge on Fiddlesticks. 3-0-1. And how relaxed is it? You know, while I always talk about being super engaged with jungle denial, while I always talk about trying to get in their face, this is such a do-your-own-thing kind of champion. And get in your face is, I'll take some camps and, you know, that kind of stuff, but you're not effectively looking for anything else. Hex Flash is so good. Now, obviously, we have ult in 23, decently high cooldown early, that's why we have Ultimate Hunter. We're just going to go into a nice little fear. We have a silence there. We'll do the sucky sucky to finish. Full channel proc gives us the heal, but Nico does giga damage, plus poison equals we die. So we are squishy, which is why you see different kind of build paths. And the Jarvan is doing work here in the support position, which is why, you know, engage in the fight is nice on the server. You saw a lot of the streamers talk about this when they were doing their sort of a trip over there. They like the engaged supports, right? Whereas US, we got a lot more enchanter-based stuff. And Problem with engages, if you're not good with timing and peel, pretty terrible. So, Viego takes our red side, at least the red and the Raptors. We'll go hold this wave, which is absolutely fine as well. So, what I wanted to put to rest here was this rune set I love. Probably my favorite rune set on the champion. 2. What I love is that you can sequence, adapt to any sort of randomness that might occur, put you in a bad position, and come out on top still. And 3, I hope you understand that pre-6 ganks are possible. Just keep your eyes up. And then make sure you're using that ult as soon as possible. The biggest problem with Fiddlesticks mains is they do not use their ult as much as they can. For example, here we want to go use it. Don't waste it stupidly, but we're looking with our ult. Okay, our ult available. Can I look for a play somewhere? That's always what you want to do. And of course, we have the Mountain Dragon here. We're going to leave Nasus and Cassandra to do a dance-off from the top lane. Now we can go deep into their jungle. And we are creating this prior with our aggression, right? We're 4-1-1. All right, yeah, the Jarvis is running around doing his stuff. The Nico can present that as well. But the speed with which we farm is always such an important thing. Oh, just got it. Just got it. Smite it rather than lose it, I think, is the most important thing here. We're getting deep in the jungle here with the Viego's going to be coming out of base. I see an ult here. Twitch does a lot of damage. Blue team has the lead. I want you to understand that. Blue team has the lead right now. But that right there, huge. Don't always look for a fiddle ult that's going to hit 5 people. A fiddle ult that just absolutely eviscerates one person is more than enough. The numbers advantage you can get is absolutely huge. Alright? All of this prio is committed because he's lived in the river, pushed the Viego out of bad positions, punished his over-aggression, and then taken a lot from him for it. And I like that. Because punishing mistakes is absolutely fundamental to the jungle role. Like, if you are farming when the enemy jungle dies bottom lane, and you're farming your own camps, for example, I know a lot of low elo junglers in that early phase, right? They go straight back to the top side. Like, they take Scuttle, they maybe get top lane, and then they go back here. Fiddle knows he can get the blue and get out, right? And fall back to these situations, go back to base, come straight back down. He understands where those advantages can be gained. And it's weird because it's not a fighting champion. Why would you face check this, you see? That's why it works. That's why it works. Twitch is coming here, and I said the Nico's going to do a lot here. We need to make sure we get our Sucky Suck full channel heal, please. We do have another E that we can use. Can we do an E? We're going to try and execute, not give it to Twitch. I still wonder if we're going to turn it. I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff, though. If W's up, I really want to silence him and see if I can maybe get the kill. I think we probably could have. You just quickly do an EQ and you just suck as much as you can, and hopefully it's enough. I don't like... The risk is sure that the Twitch gets the kill, but the guy's fed anyway. You know what I mean? The guy's fed anyway, so... Alright, we're respawning. Obviously, we have red pet this time, which I'm seeing a lot more of. 5 points in the W there for the suck. And just for those of you who maybe don't understand what I'm saying here, 22% missing health damage. That's huge, okay, for the final channel proc. And of course, you restore 50% of that damage as HP. So getting a full channel for 2 seconds is the most important thing. Don't use it... Be responsible with your W usage. And I always remember the call, Bountiful Harvest. It's called Bountiful Harvest, not Sucky Suck. It's called Sucky Suck all the time, I forgot. Ult is available. Cassandra is going in. He's a little low here. We do have Rockabelt, and that's why we love that button. Ult, see, you see this angle here? What it allows is champions to go from here to here. It's such a big range. And those kinds of things change the nature of fights when you can rotate to them. That's my problem with Zyra, I have a lot of it, is I play it in a very, very, very similar way. But I don't have the ability... Do I now go Hex Flash? I don't have the... Unironically, do I just do that? I'll get back to you. So, what he can do here is create a lot of space with his ult anyway. He doesn't need the Hex Flash there, but he has a lot of... he can just ult over the wall with Rocket Belt and gap close that. If he needs Hex Flash, he has it. Now we go straight for the counter jungling, and it's super, super quick. We're at 96 CS, and look, the Viego is 233, and you're looking at it, and you look, oh, damn, the guy's only down like 9 CS, and he's going for a dragon here. That's not terrible. That's absolutely not terrible. He's done a solid job staying in the game, but then you look at the experience, he's down 2 levels, and we're down 2k gold to the Fiddlesticks. First strike coming in. Let's see what the first strike is doing. Probably giving up this dragon. There we go. Can I just click this, please? There we go. 279. Not much. This is an important lesson. And I think there's a type of champion that really lends itself to this. Hey, they're doing the dragon. He's going to get X amount for the stat-wise. He's going to get this amount experience-wise. He's going to get this for his team. I'm not going to be able to get there and contest this because my team's dead, or we just don't have that position, Hextech over the wall. You know, so I'm just going to take my red, my Raptors, maybe my Krugs. Can I gank top lane? Can I then take the Herald? You think about jungling in terms of, you know, like investments, right? First strike rune. We have the Rocket Belt into the Silence, into the Fear, into the Suck, and oof, not quite enough tanky champion. And now we can just fall back down to this. So learning to give things up, to take all of that, is much easier when your champion just does it like this, super quick. Other champions like Silas, even though they do ramp up in terms of golden experience, where are we going, Viego? Where are we going? 2 levels up, man. I love it. Now, we have 17 kills. We're 824, right? So we have 12 out of that 17. We're up now by just under 3k gold. This is huge. And now we have the Herald plus, obviously we would want to get one sooner, but the Viego took that one. So the second one here is huge. We kind of slip in using Fog of Wall Gap. Beautifully done. We're going to R of the wall, get the Flee. Then we can get the Silence. And we don't, you know, we fear. We don't even need the Saki Saki. So there it is, your one shot, right? Use the Fog of War to get the passive Fear or Flee, as it were, on your ult. Then you got your Silence. Then you've got your actual Fear with the Q. And if you need Saki Saki, you got it. But we didn't in this case, obviously using Rocket Belt as well. Into the Shadow Flame. Now what he does interestingly this game, and an item that I'm also thinking about using and have actually been doing some tech on. I'm not going to spoil anything because when I'm doing calculations and cooking, I don't tend to, you know, spoil those things, but Horizon Focus is an interesting item. 100 AP, good haste, really nice passive actually, if your champion is allowed to actually activate those things, so we'll see what that looks like when he builds it in this particular game. Now, what Fiddlesticks mains struggle with, okay, is a little bit of this stuff. They get stuck for clearing and farming, and they don't stop moving when they have huge leads. And I think a lot of the problem is, as we watch this Rocket Belt in, we're kind of cut off here. Akali's going to go on us. I think this might be doomed for us because Akali has execute. So out of position, yeah, that we have to pay attention to those things. But what they get stuck with is full clear farming in one direction, up or down, up or down. And they lose these leads unnecessarily, frequently, unnecessarily. So Twitch is now 665. He's got 8,000 gold. We are still way ahead in that capacity, but Cassante is champion. Cassante is dead. Where were you when Cassante die? Yes, and now we have Twitch and the Nico just counter-engaging on the Jarvan. Because he's built Radiant Virtue, he doesn't have Shojin EQ spam. Nico, I'm seeing more of this Nico support, by the way. Well, we did see the Nico support. Nasus Doge! Yes, Bonkings! Has anyone seen the, Damn. It's this, I don't know how old it is, but it's a super fed Twitch. Astro, kiting the Nasus super quickly, right? Space gliding, and the Nasus just walks up to him, bonk, and he dies instantly. It's a funny meme, but I don't know how old it is, and I can't remember where I saw it, so if you know what I mean, link it below, maybe someone else can see it. So here we go. Alright, when you have some split push capacity, don't feel afraid to take these waves. Like, honestly, in lower MMR games, just take this. Just take it all. Like, your Yasuo is most likely, like, oh, I mean, even this one's 4 and 6. Like, they're most likely not in the game, so just take the wave, shove, 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 shove. You could do that. I know they nerfed the W on wave because lane Fiddlesticks is terrible, although there is a one-trick support Fiddlesticks in Korea as well. You know, you can take these waves yourself and get super far ahead. Because you don't have kill threat inherently, right? You have to remember that about Fiddle. You don't necessarily have kill threat, which is why you see a lot of assists on Fiddle as well, right? He's got that, you know, he doesn't have that execute or whatever. Here we go. Ultimate over the wall. Make sure we just kill the Cassante. Don't hold your ult. Are you seeing this? We don't hold it. We use it. Someone can die, we go for it. End of story. Don't save it for a better day. It's the best advice I ever got. In the first season I was ever playing, I was already playing Zyra, obviously, and I was always holding him out for like a quadra, triple hit. And, you know, I got some coaching, and the guy was like, why, what are you waiting for? I'm like, well, I just want to have a better ultimate. And he says, no, you literally hit a beautiful, right, EW, QW combo on, as we have an engage here. Pay attention to this here. Saki, 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 Saki. Whoa! Woo! You want to see that again? Of course you do. Oh, no. Anyway, so, we'll just watch the replay like this for the rest of the game. 1 second. So we come around the corner here. We're going to face check, place an effigy. Oh, no, there's a Viego. And he's going to basically go in here, make sure he hits that EQ from the Jarvan kill. and of course try to kill us, but we have silence, we have fears, we have sucky, and even though Nico shows up, it's not enough, and it is close. We do have stopwatch that we can use as well here. Worth noting, we do have stopwatch, so we at any point could have used that if we wanted to, but we wanted the full channel on the W. Team's able to chase him down, we'll get a free dragon from this. So, I love it. Now, we can do this solo. A little bit of help from the Vayne is always welcome though, of course. Yasuo's going to split push bottom lane here. Nasus is top lane, TP available. Probably not looking to fight. But what most fiddles will do in this particular case is finish the dragon, go back to base, most junglers, go topside. What you can see here is that Cassante shows up briefly. Shadow, please. Shadow, there we go, because we have our ult available. So we can use Fog of War, lucky, Fog of War gap here, sitting behind the Yasuo, and try and bait in the Cassante. There it is, there's the ult. Fleeing, silenced. And of course, if we need to, well, I say fear, but feared, fleeing, whatever it may be. So, nice little take. We go back to base, we finish off our Zhonya's. That's why I kind of think maybe we could have and should have used that stopwatch in that fight. It just gives, you know, we go by Zhonya's anyway, so it's not wasted completely, but doesn't really matter. The whole team decides, because we worried that there's a Baron sneak over here, right? You see that? And obviously in this case it's warded, so we know it isn't. Nasus thinks, aha, I'm safe, and they go for a full-on pick on the Doge. He gets eviscerated. Now, the thing is, Vayne's coming out of base, Nasus is dead. They might think, okay, this is a Baron play. We can come back into the game. It's a close gold lead. Cassante's going to TP in, which means what? We can just 3v1 the Cassante. Do we 3v3, 3v4 them up here, or do we just go and kill the one guy by himself? The answer is, in fact, you kill the one guy by himself. Silence, fleeing, killed, dead Sante. So if you're wondering, how do we kill Cassante? It's a lot of CC. Now, we don't have ult for 5 seconds, so what you want to do is posture at the back line of the fight, do what you can with everything until your ult's available. Here we are forced to ult flash, just to make sure the Akali flashes, which is huge, should be enough for the kill. There we go. Vayne finishes them off. That's Baron, no? Nice fight. So, as always, if you think I need to find a funny, spicy angle to use my fiddle, you don't. If it's coming up in the middle of the fight, just chill, wait for it to be up, and just launch yourself at them, and hopefully it's within time. I think it's very tough to... Now, Yasuo stop lane, we'll take a blue. It's very tough sometimes to... You know, a fight can happen, and you want to find the best angle, and the time you spend finding the best angle, you could have just ulted in or done something. So it's worth thinking about those kinds of things. Hexic Alternator, a little bit extra bonus damage in our combos. We're going to go down to the blue side here. Obviously, at this point, it's a 5v5. Now, as with the coaching channel, and in all coaching, most junglers end up too often farming a full sequence, and I kid you not, while they have Baron. Join your team here. So, I understand we wanted to try and get level 16 as soon as possible, but we're nowhere near it. We could have easily just done the blue and rotated to the fight. So I do think we're a little late to this. Cassante goes in, pulling the trigger. We have a TP being committed on the backside there. Nico goes in. The Akali's flanking. We've seen that. So he's going to ult in a way that allows him to kill the Akali. He goes back that way. Beautifully done. Now we just keep our edge. Keep our edge. Keep our edge. Viego's going crazy with the reset. Vayne gets a kill there. EQ. Kill in the Vayne. Silence. Suck, 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 suck. Killed within the reset of the Soul Gathering. Nice. Again, patient fight. Good fight. I like it. Now, any jungler. Doesn't matter who you are. Mage, support, whatever. Look at this. Ivan, we have Baron. Everybody's dead but the Twitch. Nasus is pushing mid lane. Catch the wave, shove the wave, take the turret. Look at this. There we go. Bump, 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 bump. Put the control wood up for the Twitch. He shows mid lane, so we're fine. A little bit of a waste, but that's okay. Now we can go back to base. Now, he's waiting. So I assume he has the full cash money for Horizon Focus. Which, by the way, you know, gives you that 10% damage amp over 6 seconds. As you can see right here. Any ability at over 700 range, or slowing, or immobilizing them, reveals them. Great for your invises as well. But does 10% damage amp for 6 seconds. So, we'll keep track of this as the game goes on. Now, we're going for 16, which is huge. I think, yeah, that's the right play here. Get 16. You could have just come down for the scuttle, but Vayne was doing it. Get 16, so you get that final level up on your ultimate. We have here multiple people topside, so that's a free dragon. The threat of a fiddle ult is huge. Now, Viego's out of position, so we go full on dunking. He's going to be forced to ult out, which of course he does. Right. Here, there's a Nico, there's a Nico. Okay, here you need to turn. You need to turn. Your ult's up, everything's up, you need to turn. I know we want to go from the wall here or somewhere else, but the fight is right here, just like I was saying. So, 2 top lanes, it's a 4v4 by the looks of it. Viego is out of the fight, so we know Viego is cut off. So if you can go into this right now, you can get there before Virkayu can get there. So I think he's making a mistake here. Yep. So that's an Akali killing a Vayne. They're going for the Nico out of position. Fiddlesticks is going to ult in now, but it's too late. Too late. Too late. You got Twitch in the back line. Everyone in the back line, you're not in the fight whatsoever, so big mistake. Yeah. That's an inhib, no? Free inhib. Nasus is just fighting Cassante. 16 to 14 now. Good Nasus player, though. I like that. Woo! Wee! Those don't care. I mean, thank you. Well then, that's not one of the best things you've ever done as Cassante, is it? Now he's cutting them off from their retreat. Okay, good. There's Twitch. I don't know if you want to be doing that, buddy. I don't know if you want to be... Oh, it's a Nico, obviously. Oh, well. I mean, Nasus, you don't want to be doing that. Vayne cleans up. Jarvan dunks. Viego ults. Kali kills. He's forced to leave. Okay, so... in theory, a good fight, because they haven't gold reset, but obviously you have to factor in who's strong and who's not. Now, the Horizon focus is built. We did, in that fight, 301 damage. And it wasn't even a good fight. We did 301 bonus damage. Okay. So, relax and enjoy the fact you're still 2 levels up. Relax and know that we're waiting for Vayne and Nasus. And we can Bing Shill. So, let's get some deep vision, because we, of course, have the ability to assassinate anybody. Effigy. Effigy. Control ward. Take the red, spotted by a blue trinket, so maybe not. He's still split pushing here. Twitch shows up. Now he's afraid of the Fiddlesticks. See this? Like, huge. Okay, this is the fight we want. We're shadowing in the back line. We see the pet. He's not really out of vision. Again, he's looking for the angle. He's really far away from the Jarvan and the Yasuo going on the back line. Nico shows up here, gets a full dunk. Now we need to Hex Flash over the wall here, which is what we're doing. 2 of our teammates are already dead. But this is why Fiddle is strong. Here we go. Ult over the wall. Dead, Nico. Turn it. Keep your AoE. Turn into your team. Turn into your team. Turn into your team. Keep the AoE going. Use your stopwatch to bait. Vayne is able to chase down and kill because you turn to peel. Silence. Kill. Game. You saw 3 things. 4 things. Huge ult from Fog of War to assassinate in a 2v1 shadowing a split push. Excellent. In a fight, ult not up, using it just to make sure we get the free kills. Here, sitting and waiting patiently and using our ult sparingly just to get a target focus, a Kali, make sure she can't kill like carry. And then, of course, using our W to kill the Virkayu. Then we saw a misuse of trying to find a flank when it was too late. We should have just gone in here. And then we saw that same thing, better time, because we're in a better proximity to the team fight, and we were able to capitalize. But it was still a little bit risky, all right? It was still a little risky, but we're looking at Horizon Focus, 816 bonus damage in 2 fights. 2. And that's absolutely huge in close games. So, there you have it. Fast Farmer basically does everything you need to win a game. Has a mental edge over a lot of enemy junglers. And in Korea, it doesn't look like it should work, but it absolutely does.